Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Duda Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and the Craft Beer Club. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 350. Still Got Game is the official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Aduda Rock Albert.
And joining us later from the news desk will be Tiffany Electrify Nolan. What is going on, Joel Duda Rock Albert, my friend?
Not much. 2 weeks back to back. Killing it right now. Killing it.
Especially since we know we're not here the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's great. There's like no pressure. You're like, we're gonna fail next week for sure.
This is the nature of the holidays. There's
That's
nothing
good.
we can do. But we did show up to do 2 episodes in a row. We made sure we did not leave you hanging through the new year. We had our pre-Christmas show last week. It was called the pre-Christmas episode. And now we have our Christmas episode. So
That's right.
let's
move forward with the Christmas cheer.
Yes. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Don't. No.
We're not going to sing today, guys. Well, I cannot guarantee that, but
Possible.
we're not going to sing right now. And we're just going to jump into the show proper. And like always, we're going to start off with feedback from last week's show. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. And I will apologize to whoever left 2 voicemails 10 minutes before the show, because that's a little fucking late for us to deal with your shit. But we will use your voicemails in the new year. So, Quiz Train comments. Again, last week I commented, sometimes your show is really good. I meant even better than usual. It is always good, but sometimes it's really good. I hope that clears this up.
Yeah. It's really good.
I don't know if it clears it up, though.
It doesn't.
But,
really.
but I'm glad that you took our call to arms and tried to clear it up.
Well, he's saying it's normally good and sometimes it's really good. I appreciate that as a comment.
Okay.
I would have preferred it's always really good and sometimes it's amazing, but that's, beggars can't be choosers.
I guess, yeah. Either way, I guess what it really boils down to is sometimes we're here, and then most of the time we're here, and then every once in a while we're up here.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Sometimes we're at level A, and sometimes we're at level A plus X. And I think that's all we can hope for. That is a quality representation of our show quality. I use quality a lot of times.
It's a lot of qualities. Yeah,
yep.
A lot of qualities.
But thank you for clearing it up for us in some way, shape, or form, Quiz Train. All right, Slug Zero or Sluggo? Sluggo comments. Been loving the show lately. I feel like the humor has been ramped up while still giving me all the news and discussion I come for. Keep it up.
Really?
I did not intentionally ramp up my humor.
I can't gauge. This is how I cannot gauge the quality of any show. Sometimes I feel like the show is great and the comments are like, you're shit. And then sometimes I'm like, man, this is so boring. I would never want to listen to myself talk. And we get comments like this. So clearly I just have no concept of how good or bad we are.
Yeah. I don't know either. I didn't feel like we ramped up our humor at all.
No,
like
our humor is
some shows.
Nice,
It's a flat line. Some shows we're losing our shit and we can't even sit still and talk. Like I look in the thing and you're laughing and Tiff's laughing. Even Hit's laughing and he's silent. And none of us can control ourselves. And I feel like those shows are the funniest, but maybe those shows are such a train wreck that nobody
maybe
thinks
they're actually
funny.
Annoying. Maybe like we think it's funny, and because we think it's funny, it's not. And when we're just doing it business as usual, maybe that's when it's the funniest. I don't know.
It's like looking in from outside versus inside.
Yeah,
Grass is always funnier on the neighbor's lawn.
Right.
That's the old expression. All right. Well, thank you for what I think were kind words, Sluggo. I'm not sure, but I feel like I'm going to take it as a compliment. Either way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep. All right. New Trish Oh, I get what she did. It's New Trish, but it's New Trish.
Yeah.
New Trish comments. First time listener and first time commenter. I enjoyed my first episode. I enjoyed your first episode of your show very much and have subscribed in iTunes.
She enjoyed my first episode of yours.
Okay, that's why I was fucking it up.
That's why you're fucking up. Not two yours, one yours.
I enjoyed my first episode of your show very much and have subscribed to iTunes. Well, thank you, Nutrish, for subscribing to iTunes, because that's still, despite us going through the craziness every week to make sure we're putting out live video and video editing, getting it on YouTube, that is still where most of our people absorb the show. So every new iTunes subscriber, an angel gets their wings. That's I learned that on a Christmas special.
Yeah, that's true. Confirmed.
So, yeah. Thank you for helping out that angel. All right. And last but not least, Tyler 2001 comments. That Majesco what the fuck story from your last show was really fucked up. Probably the most what the fuck I've heard since I started listening. I also liked your Taco Bell acquires tool to play improv.
Only a story like that could create the Taco Bell improv, because that is just as retarded as the actual story.
And you know, at the time we were doing it, and I said that, I felt like it was just a silly example to make a comparison, but I didn't think you and I were improving. But I guess that is the kind of actors we are, is that we can just
the idea that we're improving is silly just because the entire show is essentially improv. Really. I mean, there's not like, there's a framework there that we do every single day or every single week, or in our case, every single 6 months. But we don't necessarily have any script that we go off of. So.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
So I guess technically it was an improv, and I'm glad that you thought it was what the fuck, because we did too. That was a really, really weird thing. Majesco going into some kind of medicine.
It was regenerative medicine.
Regenerative medicine. That's what it was.
I remember, because literally if you asked me what I did last week, I couldn't tell you, or especially if it has any context to the show, because I literally just spit it out and then forget. But I will remember that what the fuck, because it's really sick.
That was super what the fuck.
Yeah. It's what the fuck. Yeah.
It's one of our best.
Yep.
But thank you for the kind words, Tyler 2001. If any of you have awesome feedback like these guys, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? Joel Dude I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
This week I am still playing some Destiny, although I think this is the last week, more than likely, probably. Still playing Overwatch and Super Mario Run.
No.
Those are my three right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, I play Destiny as well. I've been doing the holiday stuff. Did my SRL, finished that page of the book, doing the other page now. I've played, obviously, Pokemon Go. I got my little Santa hat Pokemon. I evolved one into a Santa hat. So I went from the Pikachu to the Raichu, or whatever the fuck he is. He still has his Santa hat. And I unfortunately played Super Mario shit.
You didn't like it?
No.
Oh, wow.
This game,
I can't wait.
This is so overhyped. It is.
Love this game. Huge fan.
Are you serious?
Oh, huge fan.
I love Mario platformers. I don't like a Mario platformer where I'm always going forward. It's Flappy Bird for Mario.
You did all 6 worlds?
No, I did.
Because it is not that.
And then got pissed.
I
need to give it a little more time.
Yeah, because there are things that'll come into play where it creates different movements based on what you're landing on, I should say.
Okay.
I don't want to give it all away, but
I'll give it a little time then.
Did you spend the $10 or no?
No, I have not spent $10.
Oh, then you're not even. Yeah, that's I would actually say that's the weakness of the game right now, is that the introduction where you don't pay, you can do it in less than 15 minutes. Burn through it, and it's all of the same from that level all the way to the end. Yeah. It's literally like the same. You just jump forward. So I think that it did them a disservice, because I don't think there's enough, and I get it because they want it to ramp up in difficulty. But yes, it's missing some of the finer things that come about later on in the other levels. So that is a problem. And I will say it is also very easy, because they don't let you die essentially, which is kind of odd. So even to get through, you could probably do the entire thing, all 6 worlds, in maybe 2 hours. Actually, probably less than that, maybe about an hour. So it doesn't have the value, I will say. $10, and we'll talk about that. And
you know what? Ironically, if they had made the game cost $10, I would have bought it outright.
Yeah.
And then we would have family shared it between the 6 of us because the game has family sharing. The way that they've released it now, where it's released for free, and then the upgrade is an add-on. Now it's not. So all 6 people would have to buy it for $10 each.
Yeah.
So it's
pricing is a problem. And again, we're going to talk about it later in the show, but the pricing is definitely a problem with the game. I bought it no matter what because I love Nintendo, and I get $10. I'll give it a shot on it. It is by far one of the most well-produced games to ever hit an iPhone. So for that, whether it's worth $10 or not, I don't know. But it feels, ironically, it feels like a Nintendo game on an iPhone. It feels like Nintendo made it. It's got all the feeling there that comes with a Mario platformer. It's like you said, it's different. You are just moving forward, which is, I think they can do some really cool things there that they haven't done, which I think is a sad thing. But $10 is a steep cost.
See, for this kind of game, the other problem for me is this kind of game is the kind of game I would see myself playing to kill time on an airplane, and now I know that I cannot do that because it's always online. So that put the perceived value lower for me to begin with. And then when I started out, and the first couple things I played were just the move forward, jump on stuff. Some of the enemies you don't even have to jump over. You'll automatically just run over.
Yeah,
I was like, this is the dumbing down of everything that was cool about Mario. And I guess that's what pissed me off a little bit.
I don't think they explained that enough either, because then as you finish the worlds, which is almost like the introduction, the point is then to do really the game is I think revolves around races against other people, like other real people, and style points is how you beat those people in those races, and you need to do those tricks off of those enemies in order to get those style points. And I don't think that's really explained well enough in the beginning either. I think as an intro it does a poor job of explaining what the game really is all about.
Yeah, the only time I did that was in I didn't even remember what it's called. I went to the arena or whatever the fuck it was, where you race and you try to collect your fucking toads or whatever. Yep. So I did that, and it seemed more of the same, but I knew I was doing better jumps or whatever because I beat whoever I was racing against. But I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another shake. But as of right now, I am not super impressed. I feel like they could have done, if they had just done a Mario game on the phone, I would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, fair enough.
But I was playing that this week.
Cool.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over to the new releases? And there's only one new release out this week, and these I'm getting tired of covering.
Me too. I almost feel like these are almost skippable.
This wasn't on the outline till our producer extraordinaire put a comment in that we should probably cover it. So
I should have known that this was Hit. Like no one else cares about this except for Hit. He's like, it says. You might as well just say Hitman Presents The Walking Dead. That's what it should say.
This thing up top where it says only one new release out this week with the asterisk, it used to say no new releases out this week, or no new releases of merit out this week.
Right.
But Hit put in yellow, bold text with a yellow background that The Walking Dead should be covered. So I decided to cover it for him. So the only new release out this week is a multi-platform release. It's The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, and it's out for the Xbox One, the PS4, the PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. This is the third episodic offering in Telltale Games' point-and-click graphic action-adventure series. It's the third season of the game, following 2012's The Walking Dead and 2013 to 2014's The Walking Dead Season 2. The choices made by players in the first 2 seasons of the game will be loaded from your save games from those games, and those will affect your story. This time around, the game features 2 playable characters to choose from at any given time. The first 2 of 5 episodes will be out this week, and the remaining episodes will be trickled out over the following months. There's no early review scores out for this yet, but Telltale's obviously had a great history with these games, whether it's this, The Wolf Among Us, they did the fucking Batman one, they do everything now. And their point-and-click games get amazing reviews. The season 1 of this scored in the mid-9s, season 2 scored in the mid-8s, so I assume it's going to be in those same levels. I gave up after season 1, but
I never tried them.
If this is your thing, I'm sure you're going to like it.
I give them credit because they've essentially created a business out of this
taking other people's IP.
Yeah,
they did the Borderlands one.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give them credit because they created a genre out of nothing. Now, I will say, and this is why I don't like covering these, they seem to be making them at an extremely rapid rate. And just like Rock Band and anything else, this is a fad style of gaming to me. Yep. To me, I could be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong with a game like this because I'm not interested in playing it. But like, I feel like I keep hearing about these every fucking month now. Clearly, that people are buying them. Mostly Hit. I think Hit is 80% total revenue for the series, I believe. Last I read,
he gets a thanks and then the credits to all the games.
The credits.
Yes.
He's like, thanks for keeping us fed, Hitman. You're the best. But you know, I mean, it does well, so I can't harp on it too much. They're doing something that people love. It's not my stuff.
They play off the nostalgia of like back when we were playing like the Indiana Jones point and click games and all those back in the day on PC. They definitely are playing off of a point and click nostalgia in the modern era. And,
for sure.
And they've done it. You know what? I think I would think less. I would feel better about covering these games if they just came out. If it wasn't an episodic series where it was like, because when I go through the new releases and figure out what we're going to talk about each week, every week there's some other episode of one of these fucking point and click games. Like a month from now, I'm going to skip the story that's like Walking Dead: A New Frontier episode 3 is out now. Like, I don't want to cover these forever. I just want to cover it once because it's one game. And just because they have to milk it out, I don't want to cover it that way. Like, that's not cool.
I think Hit, you're nodding in agreement that you think it's one game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To be fair, I think Hit agrees with that too. But I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah. Wait an extra 3 months and put it out as one game and then be done with it. And then
they want to treat it as if it was an episode of a show. That's the whole thing. Like I give them credit for the game
into episodes. Like when you're in the game and you get to a certain point, you'd be like episode 2.
Yes, but they're doing it like the hype is waiting for the next episode. They're doing it like the show, where like you have to sit there and you got to wait, and that builds people's anticipation for the next episode. Like I get their marketing is great. How many
people do you know are waiting for the next episode?
No, Hit.
Oh, Hit. Yeah,
I know one. I got one guy. Like, put it in perspective. I think Twitch gave this away for free with being a Prime member. I haven't even booted the game up, let alone installed it. I have no idea anything about it. But again, you know, they're doing probably what no one thought they could have, they were going to do in a game like this. When it first came out, I remember thinking like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't think anyone's going to actually be interested in it. I was totally wrong. So, what do I know?
I love the Telltale games. I don't like the episodic nature of them. I feel like just release it and be done, move on, treat it like a AAA title and drop it all at the same time. If you want within the game, you want to break it up into episodes to give yourself some kind of thing. Like Call of Duty games do it. Plenty of games do it. They're like chapter 2 and you get the big black screen, fade to black, title cards, credits and everything. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but they're doing something right and all the power to them. All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? What is going on, Tiffany Electrify Nolan?
Hi, guys.
I feel like it's been forever since you've been on the show.
It has been.
I know.
She's taking a longer break than we ever have. I'm impressed.
I know.
I want to get on her schedule.
I wanted to beat your break, so. And that's hard to do. Like, you got to be really shitty and not come on the show a lot.
Oh, my God. Well, Jay and I already talked about this, and we pinky swore and blood brothered and shit on it. But our New Year's resolution is that next year we are going to do more consecutive shows than we've ever done in the past.
Lies.
We're going to set a new record. Nope.
Lies. All lies.
Jay is shaking his head yes. For those of you who can't see him on video because we're on.
He's shaking his head no. I see
we have
him.
a one shot on Tiff right now, and Tiff is on screen.
Jay's
but
like,
Jay,
no way. Until you look at him.
He's going thumbs up, thumbs up. He's thumbs up. He's giving. When Tiff is saying no, he's giving her middle fingers. Like he's saying no. We're doing this. Yes,
he knows these are all lies.
Yes.
There was no pinky swearing.
No,
there was no pinky.
It was a virtual pinky. It's really hard to pinky swear with something.
Pinky swear to Derek is like Derek pinky swears and I'm not even involved. Like I just wake up the next morning and he texts me. He's like, by the way, we pinky swore.
We pinky swore.
That's how we roll. Okay.
All right.
Sometimes we put the faith in the other guy, but there is some news for us to do tonight, Tiff. And now we're gonna test to see how well your break treated you, because that's
not good.
No, that's really the question. So, first story.
Nintendo sold 196,000 NES Classic Editions in November, and this comes from Joystick X and Gadget. The NES Classic Edition has become a tough gift to find during this holiday season. Cheers to those who have already located one or two, but according to industry tracker NPD, Nintendo sold 196,000 pieces of a nostalgia bait to U.S. customers between its launch and the end of November. Compare that to Media Create's numbers, which showed Japanese sales of the classic Mini Famicom surpassed 261,000 units in just 1 week. Clearly, the demand is there, but the question is if Nintendo will be able to make enough of the systems available before the holiday rush is over. If it follows this up with a SNES Classic Edition, we'll probably be lining up all over again. So, do you guys have these? Have you?
Nah.
Oh, I know Derek doesn't, but Jay, are you interested in this?
No, it's not my cup of thing. With how many, emulators we have out now, and how if you ever really want to play an old game and you are, you can just do it. So
I would have bought one if they were available. That's the thing, though. Is just
how much does it cost? I haven't even looked into it.
$59.99.
It's not bad.
Behind me, right here on my green screen back there. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For $60, has 30 games packed in. It's a plug and play solution. It's got HDMI. You're not going through some converter. You're not having your TV up-res it.
Oh, the ease of use is there.
Yeah, the ease of use is there. Granted, the controller cables are a little short. They're about half the length of the original controller cables. But then again, you can put that little NES up on your couch between you because you have to touch shit on that to change games and stuff anyway. So I would have bought one for $60. The problem is Nintendo, like always, whether it was with the Amiibos or anything else, they have no fucking concept of how many people are going to want their shit. Either that or they lowball. And they send Reggie out last week to be like, I'm doing crowd control. I'm Reggie Fils-Aimé. And we're trying to meet the demand of the season. No, if you're obviously making something that everybody wants, and like everything else you do, you've undercut supply and you've only fucked yourself because they could have sold like they're saying, well, in Japan, they sold 261 versus in 1 week versus 196,000 in a month. Well, because there was only 196,000 here.
Available. Yeah.
If there was 1 million here, they would have sold. These things were selling on eBay for $400.
That's insane.
And not just once.
Come
like
on.
over and over and over again. You look at the number of closed auctions between $200 and $400, and there's thousands of them.
You're kidding me.
No.
It is not worth that much money to wait like 2 more months to get it. Come on.
As someone without kids yet, Joel, Judah, Rock, Albert,
teach your kids a valuable lesson. Patience.
Sometimes people pay out their ass to get their kids the hot holiday gift of the season. So
yeah, fuck your kids. That's what I'm going to tell you right now.
None of my kids wanted it. So this was
and that's what I wonder too. Like, so I guess the market is nostalgia, which is basically people our age and maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older. Is it really something that kids want? I mean, I know the brand is there for Nintendo to take over the kids market just because 3DS still plenty of kids play that. My nephew, I just bought him Mario Party for 3DS. So obviously the brand is still there for the younger generation and they probably do know about it, but are they that interested in buying the system? I mean,
Reggie's I don't have the Reggie's direct quote in front of me, but it was something like, this is out there for millennials. It's for people that have played our games in the past. It's for people that grew up with our games, which is basically him saying it's for everybody that ever played a Nintendo game ever. And I think that's the pitch they were trying to do, is to appeal to all audiences. And fortunately for them, and unfortunately for their supply chain, they were right. It did appeal to everybody. Yeah. Everybody wanted it, and
everyone wants it. Yeah, it's insane for them to be capped at 196 too. Like that is an markedly low number for a product that is so cheap. Like we're not talking about a system that is complex in any way, shape, or form. It's essentially an emulator that they built that they decided to push out themselves. You could probably build this thing at your house with a Raspberry Pi in less than 20 minutes for about the same cost, if not less, maybe $30. So to not be able to meet demand on something like this really does seem extremely confusing, to the point of that you wonder, are they doing it just to hype it up even more? But now that the holiday season is almost over, clearly that's not the case.
Especially when they try to sell a console again in 3 months. We're gonna have
really weird.
The Switch in March. Yeah. So this is just another failure on Nintendo's part. Yeah. And I don't know. Like once again, I'll go back to it's the Japanese company mentality of like, let's play it close to the chest, reserve. But meanwhile, if they had made 2 million of these things, they would have sold out. I
don't think the manufacturing cost on a product like this is very high. I feel like when everyone knows this, but when you build something like a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, you lose money on the system. Manufacturing is extremely expensive, and the components are usually way more money than what you're paying for the actual end result. They try to get you on the software side. Yep. Here, you're looking at, again, something that is essentially a Raspberry Pi with less features that is fairly cheap
This
to
is
make.
all
and
profit.
It's a clear profit. I mean, it's a clear profit. So why they couldn't meet the demand, or why they'd be afraid to sort of build a large enough pool of these units is really odd to me. And they missed a big opportunity. And this is what I always thought this was for Nintendo, which is get the younger kids playing Nintendo games again so that they grow up with Nintendo again.
Yep.
They're resetting the branding for kids so that as they grow up and play Nintendo games, they're more likely to purchase the systems or want the systems or buy the iPhone games or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like This is really just crack cocaine for them to feed to kids to get them addicted to the brand and buy more stuff. And that's a huge miss. 196 is not a lot of kiddies.
No.
So
if you think about it, like 5 or 6 years ago, or maybe a little longer than that, Atari had it was just 2 Atari controllers that basically plugged in the back of your TV. And the smarts to it was in one of those Atari joysticks. And it didn't have HDMI, it didn't have all this fun stuff, but it was a no-brainer way to introduce old games to people. And those things were selling like hotcakes at whatever price they were. This isn't actually a good thing. And it's not much more expensive. It connects via HDMI to modern TVs. It up-reses everything. This is just such a shortcoming. I don't care how Reggie Fils-Aimé wants to spin this. This is just a massive mistake on Nintendo's part. They could have raked in money hand over fist, and instead they capped themselves at 196,000 units. So.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. Next story.
Another Nintendo story. Nintendo shares fall despite Super Mario Run's instant success, and this comes from Gamasutra. Super Mario Run has flown to the top of the App Store grossing charts, but that hasn't stopped Nintendo's shares stumbling on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. As reported by Sky News, Nintendo's market value dipped by 5% following the launch of Super Mario Run, although it did recover by 1% before trading closed. To put that in monetary terms, the launch of Super Mario Run effectively wiped $2 billion off the company's market valuation. According to Nikko Partners analyst Daniel Ahmad, speaking to MCV, investors seem to be worried about the game's $9.99 asking price, while there are also doubts about the console maker's ability to monetize in the long term. The upfront cost is something rarely seen in mobile games today that are targeting a large player base, as Nintendo clearly is through the promotions of the App Store and use of their most popular mascot. The spending cap is certainly being seen as an obstacle, explained Ahmad. The game is already the top grossing title in the UK and the US, which shows there is a willingness from many Nintendo fans to pay the $10 to unlock full game. However, it remains to be seen if the wider mobile gaming audience will jump in and pay too. So I know you guys touched on this a little bit before. So what else do you have to add to this story?
Well, I mean, I think the what the investors are looking at as pain points is probably fairly accurate. And I think if I was an investor too, and even when I heard about the game, I didn't even know if it was going to sell as well as it has. I've actually been proven wrong. I mean, it's selling extremely well, but I still think how long it can generate revenue is going to be one of its biggest problems. The great thing about Pokemon Go is that you basically pay only when you want to, but there's always an opportunity to pay. Always. I mean, you may never do it, and that's fine. But likely, if you get into the game in any way, shape, or form, you are probably going to spend some money on it. Whether or not that's going to be $10 or not.
Pokemon Go is all the babies that only hatch from eggs. So it's the incubator sales update.
So exactly. So it's designed to buy shit. I mean, it's really an update and whether or not this happened. Now, here's the thing. What I don't agree with the investors, and where I think there is maybe some short-sightedness, which is that, yes, after you spend the $10, I think it's going to take a while, but there is an easy amount of additions you can make to this game in the form of worlds or other features that you want to add in, where it could cost money, and they will make more money, I think, once people get tied in. The problem is the barrier to entry for a $10 game for an iOS app is extremely high. It just is. It's high for most people. So you have to really like Nintendo to spend the money. And so that means people that don't know about Nintendo, or again, general just mass market people that have an iPhone that like to play their games now and again, why are they going to spend $10 versus free for the majority of games that they play? And that, I think, is the issue that I have with the game.
That's the tough sell. I'm telling you, if they just priced it at 10 to begin with, and that was your barrier to even try the game, that was probably a smarter move than giving the free and then pay to finish move. I guess all these things.
I think that's debatable, but yeah, there's a million ways.
There's so many people that would have just bought a Mario game because it's a Mario game and they would have paid $10 for it. Instead, you have people like me that I would have paid $10 for a Mario game. And then once I played it, I didn't feel like I wanted to pay $10 for that Mario game because what they gave me for free was not what I wanted from a Mario.
I think that's the problem. I mean, I think the model was correct. I think they were on the right move. People, for that amount of money, you have to try it first. I think that was the thing that they were thinking, which I think is accurate. I just think as a showpiece, those first 4 or 5 levels, they don't do a very good job of explaining, first of all, what you're going to get into. And then really in terms of the wow factor, they're very lackluster. They're, again, because it's a Mario game, as you go through these levels, they get higher. If you've ever played Mario, original Mario, the first levels or whatever, right? 1 through 3 is cake. That's the point of the Mario game, but that doesn't translate when there's a barrier. It'd be like, you play those first levels of a Mario game on NES and you got it for free, you probably wouldn't continue there either because it's like you don't do it. You could be completely, brain dead and beat the there's no skill level. And that's, again, you need a little bit of effort when you're playing a video game to become attracted to it, to have a challenge. And there is no challenge in the beginning. So I think that's a misstep. And I 100% agree. And I'm wondering if, and I know I give them credit because they didn't want to nickel and dime gamers, and that's what they've said by giving them $1 here for something and $2 here for something. But all you're really doing is converting the nickel and diming and putting into one lump sum, which people have a really hard time getting over that hump. $10 is a lot of money.
$10 is probably the most anyone's ever spent for some of these people on any iPhone thing ever. They may have spent $70 or $100 on microtransactions for a single game they play, but they never at one point in time were like, here's $10.
And that's how they justify it. It's, it's a psychology game, and Nintendo's clearly hasn't picked up on that yet, which again, I approve of because as every gamer probably agrees, DLC was like the death of gaming for a lot of people. It's not, since that has become a pretty much known thing that everyone's doing. It's hurt a lot of games. Content is withheld from games, even though it is completed and not released in final products, simply to wait to make you pay more money later. And that is a real thing that happens every day in AAA gaming and gaming in general. So I respect them for that, but at the same time, psychology is still at play here. No one wants to spend $10 in a game that, when they try, feels very dry and bland. And I understand that. So it's a bummer. But I think as time goes on, we'll see some better reviews. Again, for me, from someone that spent the money right away before he even did the trial, I essentially got the game downloaded and said, I know I'm going to want to play it. And I gave him the $10. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't know how often I'll play it. I probably will have played Pokemon more as someone who no longer plays Pokemon, who wasn't a Pokemon fan. I think when you look at that as a barometer of how to do a release, even with the disaster that was the Pokemon, it was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it started so strong and they fucked it.
So bad, right? But managed to still have enough there for a gamer to want, even with all the mishaps, want to go back and play it. At least for a guy like me who doesn't care about Pokemon for a pretty long period of time, who then did spend money on the game. So I don't know. I think it's going to be very hard for them, and they have a tough road ahead. But no matter what, I think the sales will at least show them that the interest is there, and we will get more games from Nintendo from this point forward. So,
on phones, I think that's the upside. Like I said, I'll on your recommendation, I'm gonna finish out the trial and see if it seems any more worthwhile to me, and if I want to pay the $10. But
you won't.
So you're saying I should just pay the $10 just?
If you have $10 laying around, you might enjoy it. But I will say the trial, will never agree. Will never appease you. It's just not enough. And I will even say that it doesn't get to the point where you feel like it's worth the money until you're at like levels 5 and 6, and then it's over. So for the other problem is for $10, unless you're the guy that likes to do the speed stuff and wants to do the speed racing.
No, I don't want to play it 100 times over.
Right. No. Then I don't know if the value is there.
Interesting.
That's what I would say about the game.
And I guess that's what these investors saw, is that they read between the lines and they were like, well, you made something cool that appeals to X number of people, but we really needed 100X people to.
And that's what Nintendo is generally all about, which is why this is so confusing. I mean, they appeal to the everyman, not the everyman gamer. Yeah. And I think they've done the opposite here. So that's a problem, obviously.
All right.
So there you
Well, I
go.
guess we'll watch this over the coming weeks and see exactly what's going on with it.
Totally.
All right, Tiff. Next story.
All right, we got another Nintendo story. No, I'm just kidding. Destiny is never finished, Bungie says, and this comes from GameSpot. With 2016 coming to a close and no new Destiny expansions announced, fans of the series may be looking forward to Destiny 2, or whatever it ends up being called, which comes out in 2017. Activision has confirmed the game, but it has yet to be formally announced. In Bungie's latest weekly blog post, the last one for 2016, the developer teased its ongoing Destiny development. We'll get back to business as usual once the eggnog leaves our blood, Bungie said, referencing holiday festivities. Until we talk again, work will continue at Bungie. It always does. Destiny is never finished. We have playtests of new content to share with each other. Thanks for playing our games, Guardians. We'll have more to show you next year, but that's a conversation for another time. For now, let it snow. Bungie added that while many of its developers will be out of the office to enjoy the holidays with friends and family, a live operations team is always on hand to tackle any Destiny issues that may come up. Of course, there is always a Bungie squad in the building to ensure the game can flow, it said. Skylanders developer Vicarious Visions recently announced that it is joining Bungie and High Moon Studios on the Destiny franchise. Destiny's holiday event, The Dawning, is currently underway and runs until early January. And I like how they just kind of put that little tidbit here at the end about Vicarious Visions. So I'm interested to hear if you guys have any thoughts on that. What do you think that means for the game?
We talked about it a little last week.
Yeah.
And we feel like it's only a good thing. I think is
Only a good thing.
That was our consensus, is that it's not like a Call of Duty franchise where each of these guys is taking some iteration of the game. Just the more people that are bringing their more unique things in, like Vicarious Visions were the every other year Skylanders company. They did the whatever the Skylanders racing game was. So they bring in a unique set of expertise. And the same thing with High Moon Studios. They brought in a unique set of expertise. And Bungie came from the shooter world. They didn't have a lot of RPG guys. So the more different chefs that are working on this, maybe the better the RPG gets, maybe the better the events get. And like we talked about last week, I love events. Jay's not a big events guy, but there are people out there on both sides. So I think the more people that are helping out with this and giving their input, it's only better for Bungie in the long run.
Yeah, and I mean, for the announcement of there being more content, I think what scares gamers and why I think Bungie needs to be a little bit more proactive is that because we're not going to have a game for at least a year, what the hell are Destiny players going to do? I do not think events is enough to hold any hardcore Destiny player at bay for a long period of time. If you're a raider or a PvPer, there is very little to do in the game that isn't of any interest to anyone, really. So my hope is that with the pickup of Vicarious and Moon, that you will see them become the live team. And maybe as third-party supporters, we'll be able to build content for Destiny 1 while we wait for Destiny 2.
Yep.
I don't believe that they're going to be working directly on Destiny 2. That's just my own thought on
The third-party guys?
Yeah.
I think they're all on Destiny 1. Yeah. We agree on that.
We agreed on that, yeah. And I think there might be some assets and things like that get swapped over, from the third party. But it's a good thing. I don't believe that Destiny is done. A lot of people keep saying that it's going to be a dry spell and there's not going to be anything coming out. I don't agree with that at all. I think there will be trickling of content. I don't think you'll see another huge raid. I hope you do. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And that's the problem with Bungie.
I don't think we're seeing another raid before September. No.
I would love it, but I don't think so. But that's the problem with Bungie is that they are pretty good in terms of communicating with the community, but they are so invested in the hype train that sometimes they're so tight-lipped that I think they lose gamers before they even need to. I think if they were a little more open with their plans, even me would be more willing to stick around and play the game for a little bit longer. But I look at this as non-news because I think most people realize they were still making content for Destiny. It is an MMO, but I guess it's good to hear him say it.
And you can't just stop in December if your next game isn't coming out till.
Yeah, you got a long shit to do.
I'm speculating September, but we don't even know.
No, we don't know.
But
I would love
their
September.
good month, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll know more at E3 time. I assume is when we'll actually hear. But just to have someone putting out content for the game and covering the ground in the meantime, it's like you said, it's almost 100% chance it's not going to be another raid. What it is, as long as it's something and it's enough to keep people, hey, Destiny, I like that game, I'll go play some more. That's all you really need at this point, because people are looking forward to the next thing already. They want Destiny 2. So just give them something to tide them over and bring other devs in, freeing up the Bungie devs to work on the next game, I think is the best possible thing.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Then they're not wasting cycles creating bullshit content to keep you appeased until the next game comes out.
Right.
They're working on more raids, more strikes, more PvP events, more just everything for the next game. So that's kind of the best of both worlds, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, good stuff. All right, next story.
We have this week's What the Fuck story. Redditor signs up for Secret Santa, gets Bill Gates. And this comes from Kotaku. A few days ago, user Eric's posted on Reddit that she had won Secret Santa. That's because she had taken part in Reddit's annual gift exchange, and instead of receiving a nice holiday gift from just any old stranger on the internet, she got a package in the mail from the richest person in the world, Bill Gates. This is nothing new, of course. The co-founder of Microsoft has been taking part in these exchanges for several years now. The tech entrepreneur turned philanthropist, oh my God, I can't say that word, philanthropist, or someone who works for him, gives someone a bunch of stuff that's tailored to whatever preferences they listed when signing up, with the addition of a donation made in their name to a related charity or relief organization. Then the person receives the package, does a double take when they realize it's from Gates, and proceeds to rave about their haul to the internet. Which is what happened with Eric's, who, being a big gamer and huge fan of Nintendo, found herself now in possession of everything ranging from an Xbox One and Zelda mittens for her dog to an NES Classic. That's one way to get your hands on the nostalgia machine that's still sold out in most places, or being resold at incredibly marked up prices through sites like eBay. A representative for Bill Gates confirmed to IGN that the package was indeed authentic. So I know this isn't as good as last week's What the Fuck story, but, this is kind of a cool What the Fuck. So what do you guys think about this?
We've used these as What the Fucks before. This is not the first year that there's been the Bill Gates Reddit
Secret Santa
thing, because it's an awesome What the Fuck. Because I know the story says somewhere in parentheses, or someone who works for him, but Bill Gates sends, as part of this thing, a personal photo of himself with his wife and and their kids, and it's not what they're making it to be. This is really something cool that he does. Like, Bill Gates, for all intents and purposes, never has to look at Reddit ever. He's curing diseases, he's doing shit, he's got fucking all the money in the world. He never has to do any of this. But every time he takes a little bit of time out every year around Christmas time, joins the Reddit Secret Santa thing, and hooks someone up, and his Secret Santa thing is way beyond what everybody else is spending.
Yeah.
It is insane. So I think it is so fucking cool that he does this every year, and it kind of shows that he hasn't forgot where he comes from and like what makes the internet fun and why people get together online, and it's definitely I'm a huge fan of this.
Yeah, and it's great because Bill, if you know anything about Reddit and Bill Gates, he's done tons of AMAs for Reddit. So if you ever go and look he has his own account, his Bill Gates' account. He has done live shows through that account, like where he's done Q&As live on the internet, him with a camera, just talking to people. I mean, like Derek said, obviously the guy's busy. He does he may be retired, quote unquote, but he probably works more than he ever has. And to take time out just to talk to people and really to get them interested. He's really been awesome of being interested in the Bill Gates brand, because what Bill Gates stands for now is really trying to help cure disease and do all these amazing things all around the world. And doing stuff like this really just keeps Bill Gates as a person on the radar. So when you think about him, or he comes to Reddit and decides to talk about the new toilets that he's building or how he plans to cure malaria, you look at Bill in a way now. Again, people remember Bill Gates from when I was a young child. He was the asshole that nobody loved, and everyone loved Steve Jobs. And so he's been able to completely do a full 180 on his image, and arguably, in the later years of his life, probably going to go down as one of the greatest philanthropists of our time. That's
easy.
That's a big move, right? That is a huge shift of the type of person that he was and who he is now. So this is just a small but awesome example of the type of person that I think he's become, not only for gamers, but obviously just for geeks in general, people that love the internet. And Reddit is really the place for geeks. It's pretty generalized now. It's not how it used to be, but he has found a place to speak to that culture, the younger generation, to get his message across of how to help other people. And this is just a part of that. So it's a what the fuck, because for me, it's like, what the fuck? This is Bill Gates? Because again, growing up, he was not seen like this at all.
He was the anti-hero.
He was the anti-hero.
And ironically, now as time moves on, Bill Gates is becoming the hero. And when you hear more and more about, and God rest his soul, Steve Jobs was kind of a fucking dick at Apple.
Pretty big asshole. All
the stories you hear is that he was, tight-lipped, ran it like a sweatshop, really close-minded, didn't take anyone else's input. He made all decisions himself. So if you had told anyone 20 years ago that this was going to be the case, no one would have believed.
No one. Yeah, no one. So yeah, I mean, it's cool to see it. He does do it pretty much every year. So, but I mean, every year it does seem to get cooler. He puts more and more shit into it. But it's amazing. So I suggest anyone that, listen to the show, whatever, go look at his foundation, take the time just to check things out. He has obviously accepts donations, not that a guy like Bill Gates needs to, but the point is to get involved. He wants people to get involved. So check it out. I mean, he's really doing wonderful things, and this is just a tiny, tiny example of the things that he's doing. So yeah. Awesome.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has done more for malaria and diseases overseas than anyone in history.
Yeah,
and this guy didn't have to. He could have just retired, sat on his ass, and never done anything ever. Had gold disposable cups and drank out of them, crushed them, thrown them. Like he didn't need any of this, and he took the road less traveled, and it's good shit.
Derek, what do you think about this story?
Jay, in the very best of ways, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, we'll hop on over the mailbag and voicemails. Altius asks, as we head in the new year, when do you think we'll get more hard information on the Scorpio? I, for one, am already going to be picking one up, but can't wait for the information curtain to be raised. Do you think you guys will be able to play them at E3?
Yes. I think it will absolutely 100% be at E3.
There's no doubt this is going to be E3. No. Because if this is a holiday 2017 release, it is playable, it is showable. It's maybe even the Xbox One was playable at E3, even though when it was announced at E3 that year.
Yes.
So it was well, actually no. I take that back. When the Xbox One was announced, it was announced at the press conference. We saw it under glass at E3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's under glass.
And then when we went to different places to play, you never actually saw the Xbox One. Your Xbox One controller went into a wooden cabinet, container that may have had a dev kit PC running it. But it was, for all intents and purposes, the same hardware. Yeah. So those games will be playable at E3, no doubt, this year. Whether it's the actual Xbox Scorpio or not, no one knows, but it's definitely coming out this year, next year, 2017, and the games will be playable at E3, no doubt.
Yeah, there's no question.
Because you cannot sell something for the holidays that no press has tried out at that point. It's just not doable. Yeah. Nintendo is trying that this year, where they're going to sell something in March that no one's even seen except for Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
Even Jimmy Fallon probably didn't see the real thing.
That's going to be interesting because that's at a weird time to buy a system after the holidays, and there's no marketing. Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. But in terms of the information, yes, E3 will be the big info dump. You'll probably see small things here and there until we get to E3 leading up to it. We might get a spec sheet before E3 even starts. That's a possibility. But other than that, they're going to wait, and they're just going to do an info dump. I mean, that's pretty much, I would almost guarantee it. I'd probably stake the show on that because that's normally how they do things. It's pretty by the book for Microsoft. I'm excited about it. I'm not crazy over the moon excited about it. I mean,
I am.
Yeah, see, I'm not as a PC gamer that again already currently has a system that is more powerful than what will come out. It is not doing anything that is impressive to me, but it is probably something I am going to buy. So it'll be nice to have the opportunity to game at 4K resolution on my monitors with an Xbox One, and like I said, I like the idea of the half-step upgrades. I think it's the thing that consoles needed to compete with PCs in the first place. So,
no, see, I like chair gaming as much as anybody else. Like with my TV on the fritz, I've been chair gaming on the games case, sitting in a chair all by myself. But as much, I love couch gaming. I love sitting on a couch, relaxing, playing a game, and to play a game at 4K with these awesome specs would be fucking fantastic. So, I'm looking forward to it. For those of you that don't understand what this actually means, this is your next gen console, even though it's not your next gen console. So if you're the kind of person that buys every gen console, then you should be excited about this, because this is your next gen console that just is not getting a new generation name. It's not leaving the past behind. It's your first next gen console that's like, we're not talking about back compat. It's all compat. We have this and we have stuff going forward, and it's all going to be compatible. And if you have the better thing, it's going to be super better. And if you have the old thing, it's going to be the same as you're getting, but a new game. And I think that's none of us are used to this yet. None of us know how this is going to work. But I think that if someone's going to usher this in right, it's Microsoft with the Xbox.
Unless you're a PC gamer who you've heard of this, it's called PC gaming, and they've been doing it for the last 20 plus years.
But PC gaming is different because you don't have to replace your whole PC at points. Sometimes you do. Sometimes
you don't have to do that with a PC either, right? Yeah. So that's the problem, is that it is so incremental with a PC that depending on where you are in any cycle or any piece of software, you could either be buying a brand new rig, or you could be buying a card or a chip or RAM. Memory. Right. Yep. So there's it is. The difference is it's more at least finite, where they basically go large jump every couple of years, which I actually think, again, the hard thing about PCs is knowing when to make those jumps, or if you even need to, and all that, the innards of the PC. The nice thing about this is they basically say, hey guys, this one's better than the last one. And then
Jump's coming, and then you jump. Yeah. Like think about all the people that bought the 980 just before the
or something.
Yeah. They bought the Titan, and they're like, yeah, I got dual Titans. Yeah. Now your dual Titans are
useless.
On par with the
there's a $200 1080 that's bananas good. That's way cheaper. Yeah, I mean that happens. So I mean, I as a console gamer, and again I am both, I'm still gonna buy it anyway, because I would prefer to have my console at least be close to what my PC is. I don't want to play shittier games. Yeah. So it's nice. It'll be a nice thing to have when it comes out.
So looking forward to see when they have it E3.
Oh, show.
All right. Well, if any awesome questions like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. Remember, by supporting our sponsor, you help support Still Got Game. ThinkGeek. If you're Christmas shopping right now, you have a few days left, and fucking ThinkGeek is the place to buy shit for all of your geeky friends. So no matter what you're going to buy at ThinkGeek, if you're going to go there anyway, go to toolplay.com/geek. If you go to toolplay.com/geek, you will get ThinkGeek's best possible deal, and you'll help out us. So it's win-win for you. Either way, boom, your gift giving is done. Our other sponsor, Craft Beer Club. They sell beer of the month subscriptions. You can get 6 months, 1 month, 3 months. You can just do a one-time deal for someone. You can get some free pint glasses for them, whatever. You have a beer lover on your list, or you yourself are a beer lover. So if you're going to buy someone this, go to toolplay.com/beer, and you will get the Craft Beer Club's best possible deal at this time. And at the same time, help out Tool to Play. So gift giving or for yourself, doesn't matter. tooltoplay.com/geek, tooltoplay.com/beer. Shop it up and fucking help us out. And if you want to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us, podcast@tooltoplay.com. You tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. King of the fucking internet. King of the fucking internet. Twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
You can find me at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Tiffany?
And twitter.com/electrify with a K.
Hit.
Twitter.com/Isaac Hitman.
Bunch of pause.
He tried.
I did it.
Uncomfortable.
Oh, did you? Oh, we just can't hear you. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Now I hear you.
Now we hear you. Try it
You
again,
got
Hit.
I did it.
He did it. He's just saying that we couldn't hear him, which is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. So it went to the screen, but not
I'm
us?
telling you, it's 2 buttons I gotta press.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/tool-to-play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook.com/Tiff Nolan.
Facebook.com/Isaac Hitman.
Yes. Well done, guys. All right.
One of these days we'll just be
It'll be
seamless.
flawless. Yes.
Yeah.
We give you a little glimpse behind the curtains every now and then. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool-to-play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's episodes of this show, whether it's old shows like Thick and Thin with LB, Duty, and Hit, whether it's Tiff's uninformed interviews, immature interviews, all these shows, or fan favorite, Crinkle, 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 Crinkle. Hit has said that Hit's Quick Hits is coming back. We talked about this last week in detail with Hit. After the show, after the microphones were turned off, Hit really did a sit down with Jay and I, and he said how much he missed putting out that content, and it was one of the most rewarding things he's done online in years and years. And it was all I could do not to actually bring a tear to my eye talking to him. But Hit really has something special about Hit's Quick Hits, and he is really looking forward to bring it back. There were guys online that started these campaigns, like Let's Go Meters and a bunch of other guys, and they really brought this out online. We were, for 2 days in a row, we were in the top 10 trending things on Twitter. This is worldwide, like world peace. All this other shit was on there. Hit's Quick Hits was on there, and Hit, when he saw that, he took a step back and he said, you know what? This is what people want. They want me to go physical media again. They want me to open it at midnight. They want the crinkle, and they want me to show it what it's all about. And you know what, Hit? You, sir, are a hero. And I think our audience is really looking forward to that. Your audience is looking forward to that. So you can all look forward to that in the new year. Hit is coming back, and he is going to give you exactly what you wanted. All right, please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. That's really easy to do. You open this in iTunes, click the 5-star button. No brainer. Takes half a second. What we are going to ask you to do is take the extra 2 seconds and write a little something to go with it. These guys are gods. I love the show. I love the after show where everybody talks. I love Tiff's news. It doesn't matter what you write, but just go in there. If you can do I know we're asking a lot, just give you 5 stars, but if you can do the 5 stars, just go the extra mile. Like, you're already at the finish line, go have a beer. And the beer is writing something nice about us. And it's, if you can take that 2 seconds to do it, it would really mean a lot to us. We also have a Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/tool-to-play. That is where you can find all of Tool to Play's live video content. That's this show, that's game streaming, that's all of our Twitch sub streams. Doesn't matter. It's all on there. It's all live. So go there. Definitely follow us on Twitch. But if you can, there's a subscribe. There's a follow button and there's a subscribe button. Or if you're watching the video, I'm pointing the other way. I don't know where it is. But there's one that's follow and one that's subscribe. And you definitely can subscribe to us. And that's really what helps us out monetarily. And for those of you people with Amazon Prime, if you have linked Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, which costs you nothing, every month you can subscribe the monetary version of subscribing to a channel, 1 channel per month for free. And that helps that channel and they get the revenue stream from that. It costs you nothing. Now, granted, each month you have to redo it again and again and again. But if you enjoy our show, it's really not that much to ask of you because we give you this show for free. All you have to do for free is go and resubscribe to us each month with your free Amazon Prime subscription. Not a lot to ask. I think Blue Steel did it last week for us. We'll give shout outs to people that do it, but definitely go there. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's $5. Like, think about the shit you spent $5 on. I accidentally shit $5 sometimes. So $5, boom, help us out. If not, you're Amazon Prime person, costs you nothing, and it's the equivalent of you giving us $5. So please help us out. Do that up, subscribe, and it'll mean a lot to us. And I guess before we wrap up, I'll remind you all, you can just join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/toolsplay. On that, we'll wrap this fucking phenomenal episode up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
And I am Roger Hitman Roken.
We don't do it here.
It
We
fucking
talked-
stepped up.
I saw the
talked
knowing.
about
I was like, all right, I'm in.
No,
It
we
did it
talked
so
about
well.
this.
So proud of you, Hit. All right. We will see you all in the new year. Happy 2017. Happy New Year!
Yay.